Okay, so let us begin. So I'm going to take a theory subject this semester for you, semester 4, and the subject name is Automata Theory. So as you see over here, the course will have 3-hour theory sessions. So weekly there will be 3 hours of theory, and the credits for this subject is 3 credits. Okay, every practical subject has 1 credit, 2 hours session per week, and theory subjects has 3 credits, 3 hour session. ना इंसाफ ही है लेकिन ऐसा ही है. For theory course, you always have, we have discussed this earlier, but I'm just revising it because DSC students are new to this scheme of things. For them to be aware of it, I'm doing this exercise. So in normal circumstances, you have 2 tests. They are referred to as internal assessment test for every theory subject. So even in semester 4, for all the 5 theory subjects, you will have internal assessment tests. They are divided in 2 parts, one of 20 mark, the other one of 20 mark. The first test is around based on around 40% of the syllabus, and the second test is around based on next 40 के बाद का up to 80% of the syllabus. What you do generally is you take an average of 2 tests at the end of the semester, and that is considered to be 20 marks. Okay, the end semester theory examination is of 80 marks. These average 20 marks get added to 80 mark test. You get total 100 mark evaluation for one theory subject. For one theory subject, 220 marks test called as internal assessment test. You take average of it, and they are important to attend. So you can't miss those tests. So they are part of evaluation. Evaluation का जो भी part है वो आपको absent रह के नहीं चलेगा. So you are supposed to be present over there on those tests. Questions in IIT 1 will be based on the 40% syllabus that is covered, and rest of the from 41 to up to 80% syllabus जब cover होता है तो IIT 2 होता है, and you have the entire syllabus there for your end semester examination. This is I'm talking about sem number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the remaining sems. Okay, because now we are starting the semester, it is the entire syllabus that we have. Fine. End of the semester is always an 80 marks test. Since we are in online mode, पिछला जो सेम 3 था उसके हिसाब से अगर देखा जाए तो 60-20 पैटर्न होता है एंड सेम का. 60 marks का theory होता है. There are 3 theory questions, 20 marks each, that you need to write down on the pages, take snap of it, make PDF out of it, single, and upload. And there are 20 marks MCQs for every theory exam. So for every theory exam, जो 80 marks का end semester examination है, वो 60-20 की तरह divide होता है. There is 60 marks theoretical questions, long answer type questions, and 20 marks are there for MCQ. So MCQ also you need to solve it on piece of paper. You need to write those answer on piece of paper. That is question number 1 in your theory paper, 20 marks. Then question number 2, 3, 4, each carry 20 marks. There will be sub questions in it, which will be spanning over the entire syllabus. So 60 marks theory paper in the end semester examination, theoretical, and 20 marks paper MCQ based. Both are based on the entire syllabus. Okay, this is how the organization of the paper is there. Okay, fine. So now coming back to the course that I'm dealing with, the subject's name is Automata Theory, or Theory of Machines. Okay, where this particular thing, that word you might have come across first time. If you have come across it first time, let us search what is the dictionary meaning of this word. Okay, I'm just trying to understand the dictionary meaning of the word automata. Okay, a mechanism that relatively self-operating, especially a robot, automaton. Okay, a machine or a control mechanism designed to follow automatically a procedure, sequence, or operation, or respond to a encoded instructions. So there are various definitions that you see in this Webster dictionary. The one that we relate to, or we have to understand in our mind when we are dealing with this subject, is the second one. The second definition, I hope my screen is readable. If not, I'm reading it to you. Now the definition of the word automaton, okay, automaton is singular, singular म्हणजे एकवचनी, and automata is plural, अनेकवचनी. So many automata are there, and single automaton is there. Okay, the definition that we seek or we want to remember is this one. Okay, a machine or control mechanism designed to follow automatically a predetermined sequence of operations or respond to encoded instructions. Now just think about, say suppose I have a program. Okay, what is a program? Program is a code written in a programming language. प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज एक फॉर्मल लैंग्वेज होता है. फॉर्मल लैंग्वेज मतलब उसको कुछ रूल्स होते हैं डिफाइन किए हुए, उसी रूल्स के अंदर आप चीजें लिख सकते हो इन प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज. ओके, सो व्हाट इज अ प्रोग्राम? प्रोग्राम इज अ कोड रिटन इन प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज, कोड दैट हैज फाइनाइट नंबर ऑफ लाइंस. ओके, इट हैज फाइनाइट नंबर ऑफ लाइंस. ओके, ये क्या कर रहा है? आई डोंट वांट इट. ओके, so I was trying to tell you what do you mean by what do you mean by an automaton. तो यहाँ पे जो automaton का definition लिखा है उसी के parallel में I am trying to tell you something that you already know. Say suppose you are adding two numbers in C programming language, so you write a program to do it. So what is this program? Program is nothing but set of statements. They are in a formal language which is called as C in this case, or C programming language. दिस इज अ फॉर्मल लैंग्वेज. ये वर्ड फॉर्मल का मतलब क्या है कि ये लैंग्वेज को कोई रूल से गवर्न किया जा रहा है. इट्स नॉट समथिंग लाइक अ नेचुरल लैंग्वेज लाइक योर मदर टंग और इंग्लिश और हिंदी. ओके, इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. देयर आर सर्टेन फॉर्मल rules or certain mathematical constraints that are put on what is valid and what is invalid, and thus these languages are referred to as formal languages. तो C एक हमारे लिए प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज है, लेकिन अगर उसको आप एक मैथमेटिशियन की तरह देखोगे तो फॉर हिम इट इज अ फॉर्मल लैंग्वेज. प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज आप और मेरे लिए है जो प्रोग्राम लिख रहा है. एक मैथमेटिशियन जब उसी प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज को देखता है, he will refer to it as the formal language. Okay, formal language क्यों? I told you just now, because it has some set of governing rules. कुछ governing rules है जिसके बियॉन्ड आप कुछ उसमें मैनिपुलेशंस नहीं कर सकते. इट इज अ स्टैंडर्डाइज्ड वर्जन, you could say. Okay, so the perspective of mathematician to looking at a programming language is through notion of formal language. Okay, तो अभी जो मैं एग्जांपल दे रहा था, when I'm writing a program for adding two numbers, that program will have finite number of steps. तो किस लैंग्वेज में अभी छोड़ दो, उसमें finite number of steps है, वो सीक्वेंशियली है. उसमें अगर कुछ इफ एल्स होगा तो भी वो सीक्वेंस में ही फ्लो होगा, राइट. इट कुड बी अ कंट्रोल ऑपरेशन जो एक फॉलो करेगा या दूसरा नहीं फॉलो करेगा. उसमें अगर लूपिंग कंस्ट्रक्ट है तो वो भी किसी तरीके का सीक्वेंस ही है, सीक्वेंस इन अ लूप. वो भी सीक्वेंस है ना, एक के बाद एक एग्जीक्यूट करना. दैट सीक्वेंस कैन बी ऑर्गेनाइज्ड एज अ सीरीज, एक के बाद एक. और अ लूप जो होगा वो रिपीट करेगा, जितने स्टेप्स लूप के अंदर होगी उतना रिपीट करेगा, बट इट्स अ सीक्वेंस. एक के बाद एक हो रहा है, सिक्लिकली हो रहा है, साइक्लिकली हो रहा है, बट वो हो रहा है. इफ आई एम हैविंग अ फंक्शन कॉल कंट्रोल 4, वहां भी सीक्वेंशियली एग्जीक्यूट हो रहा है. बट देन अगेन इफ यू जस्ट थिंक अबाउट इट, even if I have numerous functions in my program code in C, it will always be a sequence, some or the other. A sequence in one after the other execution, series की तरह parallel हो सकता है. ओके, ऑप्शनल हो सकता है. इफ एल्स में मैं ये सीक्वेंस फॉलो करूं या वो सीक्वेंस फॉलो करूं. लूपिंग में वो रिपीटेड हो सकता है, बट वो सीक्वेंस है. ओके, सो अगर ये डेफिनेशन देखोगे, आपने देखा होगा इसमें भी ये वर्ड आया हुआ है, और डिजाइन टू फॉलो अ मशीन और अ कंट्रोल मैकेनिज्म. एक मशीन या कंट्रोल का मैकेनिज्म जो डिजाइन किया गया है टू फॉलो ऑटोमेटिकली. सो दिस प्रॉपर्टी इज a very different very important to remember. Automatically follow automatically what? A predetermined sequence of operation. Predetermined sequence of operation यानी मेरे प्रोग्राम के स्टेप्स. और रिस्पॉन्ड टू एनकोडेड इंस्ट्रक्शन, या कोई एनकोडेड इंस्ट्रक्शन है तो व्हाट इज a program in C. Program in C is an encoded instruction in C programming language. एक फॉर्मल प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज में मैंने कोई इंस्ट्रक्शंस एनकोड करके रखे हैं. फॉर इंस्टेंस प्रिंटफ का मतलब मुझे पता है, मशीन के लिए वो एक एनकोडिंग है. प्रिंटफ आया तो दैट मीन्स इट्स अ लाइब्रेरी फंक्शन, यू नीड टू कैरी आउट दीज एक्टिविटीज. Okay, so it is encoded set of instructions. So predetermined sequence of operations or respond to encoded instructions. So what is an automata? Now with this new light, even my program is an automata. But what exactly is a program? अगर थोड़ा आप और पीछे जाओगे, before you write a program in your mind, you populate the set of instructions that are there in the program, and that set of instructions generally is referred to as the word algorithm. That is referred to generally as algorithm. So algorithm का भी हम लोग definition देख लेते हैं. Meaning, algorithm is a set of rules that must be followed when solving a particular problem. So that is an algorithm. So algorithm is also a set of rules. So you must have seen these kind of diagrams which are representing the algorithm, and they are generally referred to as, this diagram I want to refer to, this diagram is referred to as a flow chart. Okay, so graphically I'm looking at the algorithm. This I can enlist in my mind as set of steps from start, then 1 2 3 4 5 6. अगर ये होता है तो उसके बाद रिटर्न, अभी मैं ये इससे नीचे जाऊंगा. So all these are 1 2 3 4, ये नंबर जो है, these are steps, and I'm organizing them in a particular sequence. And ultimately these algorithms I'll be translating it to the program. Now program जो है वो physically हम लोग देख सकते हैं. Algorithm हम लोग के दिमाग में है. It's an abstract view or abstract representation of my programming steps, but not in programming language. It is in general pseudo code. Pseudo यानी झूठ मूठ का code. It's not the actual code, but it is very much similar or very much nearer to the actual code. तो ये जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन है एल्गोरिथम का रिप्रेजेंटेशन, वो भी एक सॉल्यूशन है आपके प्रॉब्लम का, और आपका प्रोग्राम का कोड भी सॉल्यूशन है आपके प्रॉब्लम का. जो भी प्रॉब्लम आप सॉल्व कर रहे हो, जो भी कंप्यूटेशन आप कर रहे हो, दैट कंप्यूटेशन हैज अ सॉल्यूशन इन टर्म्स ऑफ योर प्रोग्राम कोड, also in terms of the algorithm that solves that particular problem. So algorithm is kind of an abstraction for my program. So this word abstraction क्या करता है? Abstraction करता क्या है? Details निकाल देता है. तो यहाँ details क्या थी? मेरे प्रोग्राम कोड में syntactical details थी. ब्रेस कहाँ रखूं, कीवर्ड्स कौन कौन से यूज करूं, फंक्शन कॉल कौन सा करूं, लाइब्रेरी फंक्शन कौन रहेगा, क्या क्या इंक्लूड करूं, मेन फंक्शन कहाँ लिखूं. All those syntactical details are not there in my algorithm. Algorithm is merely in my mind. I just organize the sequence of operations in a stepwise manner. That will be what an algorithm would be. Now algorithm अगर stepwise represent कर रहा है, ये एक abstraction हो गया. तो दूसरा एक abstract way है प्रोग्राम को देखने का फ्लो चार्ट. फ्लो चार्ट ग्राफिकली उसी चीज को मुझे दिखा रहा है, so that I can quickly as a human being graphical चीजें आप quickly understand कर दो. अगर ये लेक्चर को मैंने कुछ प्रेजेंट नहीं किया और मैं सिर्फ बोलने लगा, ऐसा हमने किया था मैंने पहले लेक्चर में, तो आपको भी याद होगा, डीएससी स्टूडेंट को अभी अभी हुआ है वो, तो आपको लगेगा कि ये क्या चल रहा है, मोनोटोनस, नथिंग इज बीन सीन. So you will also feel like, okay, this is not an important thing. You will automatically get disassociated with whatever is going around, and you will start doing other activities which are visually enticing you. Okay, they are calling you to do. Okay, तो visualization के से भी आप abstractly चीजों को represent कर सकते हैं. जैसे आप चार्ट बनाते हो, जैसे आप ग्राफ बनाते हो, जैसे आप मैप बनाते हो. All these are visualization way of doing abstraction. फिजिकल लोकेशंस को जाके सर्वे करना और आप उसको रिप्रेजेंट करना मैप में कि कौन सी जगह किस जगह से कितने डिस्टेंट पे है, कौन मैप में दिखाना कि किस जगह पे कौन सा क्रॉप अच्छा आता है, कौन सा क्रॉप बुरा आता है, कौन सी जगह किस जगह से ज्यादा हाइट पे है, कम हाइट पे है, एंड ऑल दोज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स दैट यू डू इन कार्टोग्राफी और डूइंग मैपिंग, दे आर व्हाट, दे आर एब्स्ट्रैक्ट रिप्रेजेंटेशन. ओके, ये सब बताने का जरूरत क्या है और इसका रिलेशन हमारे सब्जेक्ट से क्या है. नाउ विल कम टू दैट पर्टिकुलर डिस्कशन. सो एज यू नो नाउ, What do you mean by automata? Automata is plural simply of the word automaton. An automaton refers to a machine that has a predetermined sequence of operations encoded, and when you carry out those operations, you solve a problem. So that is what our notion of automata is. So automata is nothing but an abstract machine. So I've added this word abstract because in our theory, so theory क्या होता है वो मुझे बताने की जरूरत नहीं, theory तो आपको पता है, theory यानी theoretical way of looking at things. So प्रोग्रामिंग को theoretical way से देखना, ये चीज हम लोग सीखने वाले हैं ये particular subject में. So what we are going to learn in automata theory is not looking at program as a program code in a formal programming language. प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज में प्रोग्रामिंग कोड आप उसका सिंटैक्स पता करने के बाद कर सकते हो, बट इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ अ प्रोग्रामिंग लैंग्वेज, इफ आई वांट टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ डू थिंग्स आर कंप्यूटेड in the universe and I want to answer questions like what things in the universe I can write a program for. कौन कौन सी चीजों के लिए मैं प्रोग्राम लिख सकता हूँ? Are there anything in the universe which is not computable? So the question behind the theory of computation, इसको ये सब्जेक्ट को अगर आप कंप्यूटर डिपार्टमेंट में जाओगे और सीखने के लिए जाओगे, the same subject is offered in semester 5, that is the next semester, and the name of subject is theoretical computer science. तो उसमें आप क्या करते हो कि क्या चीज है? So the question behind this automata theory and theoretical computer science is one and same. The question is what is computable and what is not computable. So these theories are evolved way before the physical computational devices come into being. So I'll ask you this question. Some of you, if you know, nearly were there any digital computing devices available in 1950s, 1940s, 1930s? 1930s में, 1940s में, 1950s में digital computing devices available थे? Do you know the answer to this question? Anyone want to try? In 1930s, were there computing devices available? Somebody wants to try can raise their hand. Question is simple. 1930s में computational devices available थे. So I'm going 90 years before current era. तो अभी 2021 चालू है, 1930 यानी approximately 90 years back I'm going. And whether there were digital computers, the answer is no. Okay, people did not have digital computers. So what people only had was a notion of having digital devices that will do the computation. So at that time, these theories were evolved. One such theory was functional programming theory, or called as lambda calculus, and the counter theory was the automata theory or the theoretical computer science. So there were two competing theories of understanding the question whether something is computable by a computational device that is not existent by the way at that time. Okay, अगर कोई computational device होगा तो वो computational device से कौन से computation मैं कर पाऊंगा, what capabilities that device will have, and whether it can solve a certain problem. So we were trying. So these mathematicians, so since there were no computers available, digital computers available, you only had mathematicians who were thinking about writing abstract version of a computer. जो आज का कंप्यूटर है डिजिटल कंप्यूटर, उसका एब्स्ट्रैक्ट वर्जन वो दिमाग में सोच के पेपर पे बनाते थे, and they used to call it to have certain capabilities. Then with that particular computational device, they would evolve some understanding about अगर ये डिवाइस होगा उसको ये कैपेबिलिटीज होगी, उसकी ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन होगी, तो will this device be able to solve addition problem, subtraction problem, multiplication problem, copy a string kind of a problem, reverse a string kind of a problem, check whether the given number is a given input is a palindrome or not kind of a problem. So that is exactly what this particular theories are evolved for.